Where all my scanning ass fellas at? Spending that money fast, 20s, 50s, 100s cash. Boy, going at Goyard bag, boosting ladies where y'all at? Stuffing that shit in your bag, just to flip it, pop some tags. Girl, going at Goyard bag, spend that shit, spend that shit, spend that shit, baby, spend that shit, spend that shit, spend that shit, spend that shit, baby, spend that shit. Woo! Hey, is everybody on track? Cause this Friday ain't black. Cause we ain't buying shit. We ain't buying shit. Well, I stand up and never quit. We ain't buying shit. From the 25th of November to the 5th of December. Remember, we ain't buying shit. We ain't buying shit. This Friday ain't black. Cause we got each other's back. We ain't buying shit. We ain't buying shit. We ain't buying. We ain't buying. We ain't buying shit. Chaka Khan.
My man.
I put your pink, my booty hole brown. What a nigga, I'm looking for the hoes. Quit playing nigga, come suck a bitch toes. Pound town, just left pound town. Put your pink, my booty hole brown. What a nigga, I'm looking for the hoes. Quit playing nigga.
My man.
I put your pink, my booty hole brown. What a nigga, I'm looking for the hoes. Quit playing nigga, come suck a bitch.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
The racism that you're experiencing and the struggle to make ends meet actually means the diet don't work for you the same.
Because Trump bad. Trump bad.
Again!
Because Trump bad. Trump bad.
Going, you're being a racist! Racist!
I'ma tell you. I'ma tell you. You're not gonna tell me. I'ma tell you. I'ma tell you. You heard what I said? Cause I'ma tell you. You're not gonna tell me. I'ma tell you.
Slaves built the pyramids. Slaves built the Parthenon. Slaves built America. Slaves, this is your song. Thank you. Slaves. Thank you. Slaves. Thank you. Slaves. Slaves. This is your song. Thank you.
We're done. We're done. We're finished.
Musty Tyler, yes, I'm speaking to you. Musty Tether, where you fleeing to? Musty Tether, yes, I'm speaking to you. Musty Tether, where you fleeing to? I got into my Uber, what did I see?
free stuff. So we came out here to get all this free stuff. But then the car saying, you can't get the free stuff. What? Cause the people want to take it. And how y'all gonna take some stuff that ain't even yours? It's free.
So I got my 2 baskets and took the bus or whatever.
Wait a damn minute.
We get down here, we get some free stuff.
We're already in a recession. Times are hard. Why not just let us get the items and invest and be okay? We are Black women. We care about our crown. Why not give back to the community and let us get the product? The tools, any other eviction.
Joe Biden is asleep. Kamala is at a dance party with Beyonce. 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 Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. 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 Party with Beyonce. 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 Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. 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 Party with Beyonce. Beyonce.
Carry on.
Dance party with Beyonce. Beyonce. 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 Beyonce.
Hold up.
Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. 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 Party with Beyonce. 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 Beyonce.
And that is it for us today. Okay, I don't know what. Whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that. Okay. Now, I can't read it. There's no words on it. There's no words there. To play us out. What does that mean? To play us out. What is for credits? I don't know what that means. To play us out. What does that mean? To end the show? Yeah. All right, go. In 5, 4, 3. That's tomorrow, and that is it. In 5, 4, 3. That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with a. I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live. Right. Fucking thing sucks. In 5, 4, 3. That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.
Happy Thursday! Let me know if you can hear that or not, because, child, I don't know what's going on. I blame Kofa, okay? I blame Kofa. He's been having problems. Ever since he's been having problems, I've been having problems. Let me know if you can hear me. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. It is funny. No. Oh my God. No, you can't hear me, or no, you can't hear this. I'm sorry. You can hear me? Okay.
This is amazing.
I'm assuming you heard that. Hold on a second. Soundboard down bad. The soundboard is down bad, to say the least. All right. I gotta leave it alone. I gotta figure that out. Shout out to all of y'all that are here, though. Thank you so much for stopping through. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you're new. There's a lot going on, child. There's a lot going on. We're gonna have to go through it. When I go to look for one thing, I find 10 other items, and it's oh my God. We got to get to it. Let me first thank D Rockton for the thumbs up. I appreciate you, hun. Shout out to Night Jade. I appreciate you for the gems. I missed it because I was doing the opening, but thank you all so much. Mods, I'm gonna need you on board, because, child, they not gonna be happy tonight. I'm gonna tell you right now, they not gonna be happy. All right. We got to get an update. I do have the video with the forensic specialist who talks about the autopsy. but then there's been updates since I freaking got off from work. So I'm trying to go through what's going on, get some stuff from Instagram, and it's just one thing after the other, after the other, after the other. So we got to get to it. But I think the first thing that we need to do is to let everyone who missed it this morning, I think it was this morning, let them know, especially the women's, to let y'all know that Saucy Santana runs black women and clearly some black men.
Season, bro. Bitch, I'm bad. Bad to the bone. Coca-Cola shake.
Bitch, I'm bad. I'm bad to the bone. Sassy Santana is the biggest influence on our... Well, maybe it's a man that runs this. Maybe it's the man that runs this. Since it says we actually think Saucy Santana has the biggest influence on our women. Wow, the majority of them copy his lingo and mannerisms. He is an integral part of new gen culture. Child, that be y'all culture, Chad. That be y'all culture. Thank you, Uncle Rick. So y'all got it. Y'all got it. Y'all want to listen to Sassy Santana. Ain't he one of the ones that was saying, no fucking, no voting, no fucking? It wasn't he the one, him and Trina doing that one? I tell you, I guess these Gen Zs and these black women do need somebody to help them. So if you want to listen to a man tell you how to be a woman because he's pretending to be a woman, even though y'all don't like men, you can't stand men, but you're gonna listen to a man who dresses like a woman. I can't even hit the Price is Wrong button. I tell you, there's some shit going on around here. Good luck to them, though, but not really, because child, as the crash outs come, you know we will follow them anyway. This is Welcome to the Culture. I'm telling you, this is an up-and-coming blog. They're going to be bigger than Hollywood Unlocked one of these days coming soon. Because they support this. They support degeneracy. They support, who was it, child? Whoever said I spin that song. I forget her name. The one like to be peed on. And them little girls, which somebody said those little girls was AI. It don't even matter if they're AI or not. She or he said that it's taken hold on TikTok, and we know that TikTok is where all the smart people are. So they're going to go ahead and believe it. So that's what your kids is about to be doing. But it is what it is. Ain't my kids. I don't give a fuck. And I'll make sure that my grandchildren will never. So anyway, so just want to make sure that those that didn't see it and remind y'all, black women, this is who y'all need to listen to. So at the end of the day, it always comes back to a man, child. I tell you, moving on. Let's go to the New York Post, because when we was listening to Crumblemouth Ben Crump talk yesterday, he talked about the United Cajun Navy and said kind of inferring, because it was a lot of inferring with what he was saying, that they may have lied. Well, it looks like the United Cajun Navy came back and said, child, no, you're not going to do that. So it says United Cajun Navy sets the record straight on how Nolan Wells' body was found. Families deserve the truth. You think Ben gonna come back and redact? I promise you he won't. So this is as of today. Today's 23rd, right? Yep. It says the leader of grassroots rescue group, United Cajun Navy, wants to set the record straight, clarifying that Nolan Wells was not fully clothed when the missing teen's body was found in the water in Mississippi. You think Ben gonna come back and say, I was wrong, I made a mistake? I bet you $20 he won't do it. Keem, thank you for the silver stars. I appreciate you, boo. During a Wednesday press conference announcing preliminary results from an independent autopsy into the death of the football player, civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump said the United Cajun Navy told him Wells' body was found fully clothed on Horn Island, despite Wells being seen that day wearing only swimming trunks. The mama thanked the Cajun Navy initially, you know what I mean? So for Ben just to make some shit up and just lie is really interesting. But then he's a lawyer, so, you know, not a lawyer like me, but I'm just a lawyer on YouTube. The comment appears to have spiraled from an interview on Monday's Nancy Grace show when the host interviewed Todd Terrell, founder and president of the volunteer-led disaster relief organization, United Cajun Navy. Honestly, I thought it was the Navy, actually, so my bad. You gonna take me up on the 20, DeAndre? All right. As I recall, Todd Terrell, Nolan was face down, still fully clothed on the beach. Is that correct? Nancy asked Terrell. Yes, that is correct. He was face down, Terrell responded, later adding, when we say he was found fully clothed on the beach, it was the same vicinity of where he possibly drowned. Terrell has since said he should have corrected Grace when she said the body was fully clothed, adding that he was caught off guard after picking up the phone only 3 minutes before the show went on air. I just agree with her because the body was clothed. Maybe I should have corrected her and he told the Sun Herald. All right, so we've seen these drawings from the autopsy report. Terrell said a Cajun Navy pilot was in the air when they spotted Wells's body and saw he was wearing swim trunks like most other males on the island. He was clothed, meaning he had his shorts on from what we could see, Terrell said, adding that Wells was wearing blue swim trunks, the same that he was pictured wearing earlier in the day. The United Cajun Navy, set up in the wake of Hurricane Katrina to support those affected, posted a clip of a follow-up interview with Grace clarifying that Wells was only wearing swim trunks, along with a statement. Recent media reports have stated that Nolan Wells was found fully clothed. That statement is not consistent with what the United Cajun Navy search team observed. Nolan was found face down, wearing only swim trunks. The Cajun Navy has never stated that Nolan was fully clothed. It's important that the facts surrounding this case are reported accurately. Facts matter. Families deserve the truth. So Representative for Ben Crump did not immediately respond for comment. Oh, DeAndre, I'll take that 20 whenever you're ready, boo. Wells, 18, had been on a 4th of July boating trip with friends to Horn Island, Mississippi, before he disappeared. His body was found 2 days later. So anyway, I don't need to read the rest of that. The point is that they said, nah, child, what you not gonna do is sit up here and put words in our mouth. And they came out and corrected that shit. And we already know that Ben or none of the rest of them are ever going to come back and say that they did or said anything wrong. You have to be careful with people who think that they're perfect, right? You have to be careful with people who never make mistakes, according to them. They never do anything wrong. They never make any mistakes. They never apologize. They never correct themselves. They just keep on going, especially when you know damn well that they lying. Got to be careful with people like that, especially in relationships. Okay, you know, people be ignoring the red flags, child. They be ignoring the red flags. Am I dragging? It looks like I'm dragging over here, but that doesn't mean that's what's actually going on. So confirm or deny for me. I appreciate y'all. So that's the update from them. And I was pretty sure that somebody had to come out here and say something. Let me acknowledge RB and I appreciate you. Boo. He said, why is that a man dresses like Liz? Goodbye. What the F? Because that's what the community likes. You already know. You are a cancer to the community. But Funky Dineva and Saucy Santana are the gay boys. And they don't cause black women any harm. Because, you know, everything revolves around black women. In case you missed that memo. Anyway. Yeah, hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. Let me go on over here. I try to get up on the Instagram to see what was going on. And it's like more and more and more and more. It's all about Nolan Wells, right? So Baller Alert says that a congressman, a state senator, and the governor are all backing the sheriff in the Nolan Wells case. So what did we think was going to happen? Well, no, what do you think the comments say? That's actually what I wanted to say. What do you think the comments are going to say here on Baller Alert? It says the most powerful elected officials in Mississippi have lined up behind Jackson County Sheriff John Ledbetter in the Nolan Wells case, and the speed of it tells you how high the stakes have gotten. NAACP President Derek Johnson made the accusation Wednesday morning at the I cannot see. Hold on. Oh, that did not help. At the organization's national convention in Chicago. Oh, yeah, that's why they had to take the family to Chicago. Standing alongside Attorney Ben Crump and Wells' parents. By that afternoon, a sitting congressman and a state senator had both gone on record defending the sheriff running the investigation. Johnson was specific about who he was and was not accusing. He said the NAACP is not accusing any individual of anything, and that its accusation is directed at the state of Mississippi and local officials for being derelict in their duties. He stated concern was follow-up. Now you see the NAACP jumping into this now. You see all the attention that they get. The GoFundMe is almost to 800,000. Come on, Robert Johnson, get your ass on in here, child. Get a piece of this pie. Blah, 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 blah. His stated concern was follow-up, that regardless of what actually happened to Wells, the investigation should be thorough enough for the family and the community to trust that anyone involved would be held accountable. So my question is there anything that anyone could say at this point to make all these people that think that some white boy did something to him, is there anything that is there anything that could change that thought? My money is on them. There's nothing that's going to change that. Their minds, meaning their minds. The only thing might be a videotape, and they're going to say that that's AI and made up. I promise you, because too many black people so badly want to blame white people for everything. Thank you, child. Black 65, I think. Thank you, hon. I love your honest perspective. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Shout out to all of y'all that are here. Please hit the like button for me. Shout out to all the new subscribers. I see you. I appreciate you. Y'all are thebomb.com. Trolls, please understand and know you're welcome to stay. But if you act crazy, these muds don't have time for your bullshit. Neither do I. But all views matter, child. All views matter. Just show some respect. Republican Congressman Mike Easley, who represents the district and is himself a former sheriff and police, an oppressor, told Fox News Digital he has full confidence in Ledbetter and the local law enforcement officials working the case, and said he knows firsthand the demands and pressures of the job. Well, child, he probably should have stayed quiet. He probably should have stayed quiet, honestly. Mississippi State Senator Jeremy England called the accusations against local investigators completely unfair, defended the reputation of the sheriff and district attorney as people of the utmost integrity, and said the MIS investigators will not be swayed by public pressure. England also offered a line that captures the entire divide in the Nolan Wells case, which is that there is not always someone to blame. Well, there is always someone to blame. But, some people will call it victim blaming if you actually blame the victim. Now, blame is subjective, okay? Because if you did something that put you in a bad situation, that's kind of your fault. Y'all can look at it as blame or not. Now, I didn't say that about Nolan, because even though I do believe that it was a drowning, me personally, I think it was a drowning. But don't forget what Claudia said tonight, but let me rewind it. You heard Claudia now. I'm
going to say this, and people can be mad at me if they want to. I think just because someone passes on, it doesn't mean we just, now we can't say anything negative or honest about you. I think just because someone passes on, it doesn't mean we just, now we can't say anything negative or honest about you. I think just because someone passes on, it doesn't mean we just, now we can't say anything negative or honest about you.
So, when it comes to a black Kevin Samuels, everybody hates him. Well, not everybody, but these women hated him. So they could talk about him. Now, when it's someone else, all of a sudden now, so you can't talk about them. That's victim blaming. So it's a part of the code. Tadisha, it's a part of the code. If we like you, meaning black women, then you can't talk about them. If we hate you, then you can talk about them when they die. You know what I'm saying? So, you got to know how the code works. I mean, I'm not really sure how the code works. Yes, I am sure. It's a bunch of bullshit, okay? They just want you to follow along like puppets, and that will never be moi. Page 10. All right, y'all. In your code, it's page 10. This is like references for the Bible. So let's see what the comments say. And this is when every black person with a platform or some type of authority is supposed to step up and let them know Nolan's family has backing too. It should be way more than just Tyler Perry and Colin Kaepernick and a few activists. Should it? Why? They got enough coverage. What more? Why do they think they need more coverage? Who thinks they need more coverage? For fucking what? Why? Because we cover it, and then you jackasses, not y'all, but some of y'all, come in here and just be mad because you don't like my viewpoint. I'm not cutting for anything. It has nothing to do with me. Okay? Because y'all are unfair. You should be requiring Asians to help y'all out. But black women always want to over a cliff and then say, we're so put upon. Nobody asked you to. But y'all want to be the rescuers? Then you get everything that goes along with it. So be tired. I'm waiting for them now to jump into Wisconsin. I'm just got a news report on what's going on in Wisconsin. So we're going to have to get to that too, y'all. And of course, they're protesting. So that's going to turn. Child, they just got all the things going, child. All the things going. We got to look at that, though. Not today. But just FYI, there was a oppressor shooting in Wisconsin. Child, it's Wisconsin. And they found the only black person. I'm not saying only, but I'm assuming that Wisconsin don't have a big black population. I could be wrong. Anyway, but I don't think that there's any more people that need to be. What does anybody else need to be involved? Well, I'm gonna show you some new people that are involved, y'all, because they see how this grift is going. And at night they wear white hoods and gather around a campfire. Do they think that make them credible or something? This is even more suspicious. I honestly don't think that they should have said anything. Honestly, it doesn't help at all. It doesn't help at all. No one cares in Mississippi whether the sheriff or the congressman and all those people agree with the sheriff, and then gonna say, "Oh, I used to be an oppressor myself." Child, they need to read the room. They need to read the room. So they just made it worse. I tell you, everybody should just shut the fuck up, honestly, except for medical examiners and I guess lawyers. So then we got to listen to Trump, child. At this point, we be going child for child, because I'd be damned you have your kid here during the holidays and I don't. Ooh. Listen, these are comments from the blog, YouTube, okay? People are wilding. I bet because once one go down, they got to open all them cases back up from the effed up ish they've been doing for years. We are never going to get the truth. And even if we do, does not mean we will be seeing justice for him and his family. We don't care about who's backing him up. We will get justice for Nolan, and that's that. Well, there you go. That baby neck missing is all the evidence the community needed. Are we surprised? So where are we linking up for the bonfire? It's giving Klan activity. Ciao. Y'all can read the rest over here on Baller Alert. And I'm pretty sure any of these other blogs, because I'm sure the rest of them pointed it out. But speaking of people getting involved, well, would you look at this here? The passer is now involved. Let me see. Is that Kappa Alpha Psi and Alpha Phi Alpha? And I believe Murphy is Omega Psi Phi. They got all the Phi Psis up in here, child. All of them. Jamal Bryant. This is his page. Keep Nolan Wells' family lifted in prayer after Attorney Crump shared the autopsy report to raise the audacity of hope the family toward the Obama Library. We must fight on until victory is won, y'all. Okay? So they are making the rounds. Shout out to the Obama Library. Where is that at? I guess that's in Chicago, right? Oh, yeah, everybody's gathered, I guess, for the NAACP National Convention.
Historic and monumental day, a day of faith, a day of witness, a day of testimony. Grateful for the unwavering voice of our community's attorney, Ben Crump, and this amazing family who, even in the face of trauma and tragedy, found the resilience and the audacity of hope. They just come out of the press conference, and now we're at the Obama Center to say that their light is still shining. What we're asking for is prayer, asking for family and asking for community, that justice is still available. And when that happens, this will finally be the land of the free and the home of the brave. Keep this family lifted in prayer and know that God's got
justice for Nolan Wells.
Justice for Nolan Wells. Historic and monumental.
This nigga. He gonna print up some shirts soon, okay? Let's hear it again.
A day of faith, a day of witness, a day of testimony. Grateful for the unwavering voice of our community's attorney, Ben Crump, and this amazing family who, even in the face of trauma and tragedy, found the resilience and the audacity of hope. They just come out of the press conference, and now we're at the Obama Center to say that their light is still shining. What we're asking for is prayer, asking for family and asking for community, that justice is still available. And when that happens, this will finally be the land of the free and the home of the brave. Keep this family lifted in prayer and know that God's got
justice for Nolan Wells.
Justice for Nolan Wells. All right. Rest in peace to Nolan, child. They're gonna be saying your name for a long ass time. Definitely through the rest of this damn year. Oh, Lord, help your people. Anyway, TMZ seems to have some new news somehow, some way. This is from 2 hours ago. It says Nolan Wells update. Hold on a second. Thank you, Justice is Freedom, for the gold coin. I appreciate you. We'll see what they have to say. It says what we know, 7:23. So this was today. Let's hear it.
Welcome to TMZ Live. The Nolan Wells independent autopsy results that came out yesterday, I feel like were disappointing for a lot of people around the country who are watching this, because although
it was disappointing, shout out to my girl, Elizabeth in the building. Oh, what a woman. Appreciate you, boo. Member for 29 months. She said, I can't. I too lost my 5-year-old July 4th weekend, 93. Wow. So sorry, boo. So sorry, boo. Vehicular homicide. I refused to do interviews, etc., because I couldn't relive it over and over. I understand. I'm going to just leave it at that. I have nothing to say about how they're doing what they're doing. But love to you, boo, and my nephew. Appreciate you for being here. Appreciate your support as always. Let's listen to TMZ, chat.
Ben Crump did mention that there was this red coloration in the back of Nolan's head. There wasn't a lot more that came out of it. And the reason we're talking about this today is because in the absence of any real information coming out, all that the autopsy, the examiner could say is that...
Are they going to get mad at Charles for saying in the absence of any real information coming out? So basically he said the same thing that we did. We learned nothing there, really.
The manner and cause of death is still undetermined, pending further investigation. And we are still waiting on the results from the official medical examiner down in Mississippi. In the absence of any information, what's happening is you have a lot of people putting theories out there. You have a lot of people putting their opinions about a lot of children, not children, I mean, they're young men, that nobody really knows. The people in that community know them, but around the country, people have formed opinions and they are putting them out there online. Some people are posting them on all sorts of platforms, and it's creating a lot of anger around this case. There's anger where people feel that the investigation is not going forward the way they would like to see it go. There are people who are angry about how some people feel about the case. That a lot of people, I've heard the word race baiting used, the phrase race baiting used a lot. Harvey is not here. Obviously, he is shooting a special that we're going to have coming up on Fox in primetime. But before he left this morning, he actually recorded something that I want to play now. And you know, it's funny. I just said that there are a lot of people sharing their opinions and they don't have
I was about to say, get to the point, because, child, you just talking. Get to the point.
Information. Well, Harvey is one of them. Here is a theory that he is putting out there, and he's admitting that he doesn't have anything to base this on, but there's a reason he's putting it out there.
Do we care? Let's take a vote. Do we care what Harvey thinks? We don't need Harvey's opinion, do we? Thank you, Gemini, for the silver star. I appreciate you, boo. Yay or nay? Anybody? Bueller. Thank you. Thank you, Gemini, for the gold coin. Because this is... okay. Okay. All right. I didn't think so, but I just wanted to check, y'all. I just wanted to check. Because I'm pretty sure it's going to be some bullshit that we don't give a fuck about. Shout out to Tadisha. Thank you for the gold coin. All right. I see all the news. All right. Ixnay on the damn TMZ. Moving on. Moving on, child. Moving on. Well, Clown L has something to say. And you know, typically I don't give a fuck what this nigga has to say. And I really don't today. But D.L. Hughley is saying not for people to not go watch Tatum's interview. D.L. Hughley is out here saying not to go and watch Tatum's interview. And you see that he put up a picture of Tatum and his wife. Okay? So this is the colored community. Thank you, DeAndre, for the thumbs up. I'm waiting for my 22. So he's putting this up so that everybody knows that he's married to a white woman. Tadisha, where that's at? Because it's not okay for Tatum to be married to a white woman because he's interviewing the white people in this case. However, if it was Venus that wanted to come on here and say something, I'm sure he wouldn't have a problem with it. If Eve wanted to come and talk to him, I'm sure he wouldn't have a problem with it. Pretty sure if Eve or Kantanji or Cam wanted to come and talk to him, there would be no problem. And he would be inviting everyone to come. But since it's Tatum, who's not going along with the typical narrative, Now it's don't listen to this man. So he had the nerve and the audacity to highlight or capitalize. Do not watch his bullshit. Race Batum Tatum. This nigga right here says Race Batum Tatum. The most race baitness nigga on the face of the fucking earth, only second to Ben Crump, is DL motherfucking Hughley. A hypocrite is always gonna hypocrite. A hypocrite is always gonna hypocrite. The nerve and the audacity, like somebody just said recently, rules for thee, but not for me. Of all the people with the nerve and the audacity, and the colored community will follow this nigga to the end of the damn earth. I will not. Fuck that nigga. Yup, he on that fuck that nigga shit type of time with me too. We all already know. This fucking clown. All he do is talk about Donald Trump because he's fucking in love with that man like the rest of y'all. There's enough of y'all that are so in love with white people and Donald Trump. That's why all they got to do is say that name and then y'all go wild and crazy. It says, Race Batum Tatum is profiting off of the death. Oh my God, I'm about to shut this shit down. I'm about to shut this shit down. Fuck that nigga. Did you hear that? Let me say it again. Fuck that nigga. Now what? Fuck him and fuck Ben Crump. Both of them. Now what you gonna do? Now what you gonna do? Fuck that nigga, okay?
This is amazing.
Every day and twice on Sunday. You don't tell me what to do. I don't know who the fuck you niggas think you are. That's your problem. That's why y'all continue to fall for the same bullshit and get in the same situations and then turn around and say, what happened? It's so unnecessary for a nigga that I don't even know to tell me what the fuck I need to say and how I need to say it. That ain't how that work around here. Take that nigga nonsense over there to where Tatiana said that y'all supposed to be while you scared of white people, okay? Carry your ass on over there. Carry your ass on over here because this ain't the place for you. Thank you, Black Six. I think that's what that says. Y'all forgive me. Oh, yeah. I see it over here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. But yeah, so the race baiter is talking about somebody else being a race baiter. The audacity. The audacity, right? It says Nolan profiting off the death of Nolan Wells by doing everything in his power to make these fake friends seem innocent, while DL makes them seem guilty. So I can do it, but you can't. This is typical black people shit. That's why you got them two bitches from yesterday saying some dumbass shit about you can't be around white people, and the black lady with the business down in Atlanta better not go talk to that white man. I don't know what's wrong with you colors, but y'all need to really go get some help. You control no one. So y'all want to be the slave masters basically at this point. And all this is for Democrats, liberals, and progressives. That's all this shit is about. Money, of course, but it's mainly coming into midterms. They're going to make some bullshit out of everything. You don't own us. You don't own our vote. And you don't own what the fuck we say. You don't own what the fuck we do. You don't own where the fuck we go. You own nothing with us. Slavery is over, okay? Do something with your fucking kids. Get all the fucking way out of my chat and out of my motherfucking face. None of y'all run shit here, you heard? Keep that shit in mind while y'all here saying some bullshit. Back to this nigga. Don't forget, this is the same self-hating, I think it's supposed to be self-hating bootlicker. So these are black people that are pro-blacks, but when someone don't agree with them, then you can be all these names. Your bootlicker, your auntie ruckus, your uncle ruckus, blah, 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 blah. That said, Sonia Massey was at fault and her red rum was justified. I don't know nothing about that. I don't know nothing about that. All I'm saying is that the nerve of this race hustler here to talk about another race hustler, allegedly, while not talking about the race hustler that he's cool with. So it's only the race hustlers that you cool with, Al and Ben, but not this race hustler. Let's just go out on a limb. Let's just go ahead and say it. Tatum is a race hustler. So is Ben Crump. And Al is the master at it. And so is the baby shaking minister. He ain't telling you not to follow none of them, not to listen to none of them. He ain't saying none of that because that's his benefit, because he definitely is a part of the Boule crowd, because they need you to vote Democrat. So they'll just continue to take advantage of somebody's trying time, collect as much money as possible, use them for all the photo ops, because they out here for some photo ops, ain't they? They ain't even say it was racism. Shout out to Michi X. They ain't even said it was racism. Well, actually, the father did, and then they had to hush his ass up and said, child, you say nothing else. But this nigga right here, oh, we gonna watch it because part 3 came out, and we gonna watch it. 1, because we gonna watch it. 2, because that's the problem with a lot of Black people. They never want to listen to anything other than what they think. And you are never gonna get an informed opinion that way. If you just think how you think, you just want the same people. That's why following CNN and MSNBC only and never listening to anyone else get you stuck on a plantation where Rowley, another one of y'all's leader, came out here and said the Democrats never do anything for Black people, and then turned around and said, but y'all got to vote for them. Y'all some simple ass motherfuckers, I tell you, but you got that. But I just want to make sure that I show, and we don't even need to look at the comments because anybody following DL Hughley is no one that you can talk to anyway. But I want to point out the fact that he had to put a picture up here with his wife so everyone knows that his wife is white. And then you gentlemen, you sassy straights, okay, the Black ones, shout out to everyone that is here, but I'm talking to the Black ones right now. What happens as soon as y'all decide that you want to go overseas, wherever the fuck y'all go, Thailand, Medellin, wherever y'all go, or you decide that you want to date somebody who's not white? I'm sorry, that's not Black. You decide to date somebody that's not Black. Then what do you hear? What do y'all hear once that happens? You must hate your mama. They ain't saying none of that when the Black women are dating out. Remember that heifer that said, when I see a Black woman with a man outside of her race, I just know she has done everything in the world to try to make it work with Black men. When I see a Black man, I'm just like, you must hate yourself and you must hate your mama. Please understand and know who runs this shit, y'all. Okay? Y'all already know the regular degulars. But outside of Ben Crump with his griftiness, shit like this, all right? The people that only care about liberals, progressives, and Democrats, like DL motherfucking Hughley. Black women hate when Black men date anybody outside of them, but they big up when Black women date outside of their race. The hypocrisy never fucking ends. Moving on, child. Moving on. Over here to Atlanta. Oh no! Shout out to the ATL.
She was fucking his best friend. So you know, I mean, everybody's fucking down here in Atlanta. I don't know what to tell you. They breeding like rabbits down here. Everybody getting ass.
Lady, sorry for the pause because she looked crazy. It said autopsy of Mississippi teen found dead raises new questions, child. Come on, guy.
There is no relief yet for the family of a Mississippi teenager who was found dead after a 4th of July boat trip with friends. An independent autopsy commissioned by Nolan Wells' family found the 18-year-old's cause of death is undetermined. According to the report, Wells had no fractures on his face, head, back, neck, ribs, or pelvis. However, the pathologist noted that some of Wells' body parts were never sent to the lab, leaving him unable to rule out a neck injury.
This is only another part of the puzzle. And even though it tells us significant information, we still have more questions than we have answers at this time.
The Mississippi State Medical Examiner's Office has not released an autopsy result yet. A $125,000 reward is being offered for information leading to an arrest in this case.
Did she say 150? It's like, it's 125, ain't it?
Atlanta-based media mogul Tyler Perry is providing some of the reward money.
This week marks 1 year since the...
All right, we'll get to this story at another time. Anyway, so that's what the ATL had to say, and then this is come over. This is a clip from TMZ Clips, so it's not a bunch of crap. It says Rep. Jonathan Jackson believes Nolan Wells' death investigation may be a cover-up. Do y'all know who Jonathan Jackson is? I don't know who that is, but let's hear what he got to say.
This Nolan Wells case is taking a lot of different twists and turns. I wanted to get your thoughts on it. What do you think about it thus far?
Well, the phone has been erased and the parents have had to ping it. There's been no clear investigation. I think it reeks of a cover-up. And so we want to get to the bottom of it. So I think Attorney Crump being involved, I thank Kaepernick family. I think people that want to get to the justice. And now the truth is coming out slowly, but the truth is coming out. There is a pattern of deception and denial and cover-up.
You think there's a cover-up? So who are you pointing the finger at?
Well, I first start with the legal authorities. They should do a thorough investigation that the phone was separated from the child. Body was returned to an alternate location, that the messages have been erased, that the family had to independently retrieve the phone. These are all things that the sheriff should have done. And so I would like to see the law enforcement do its job and give the parents, the family justice and closure.
You know, I spoke with Jasmine Crockett about this a few days ago, and she feels like race is definitely playing a role in this investigation, or just in this case, I should say. What do you think?
Well, if you talk about 5 or 7 young white guys and one African-American child, they're out swimming, he ends up dead, and it seems to have been a bit of a scuffle or some altercation, I'm not quite sure. And then everyone leaves their one friend behind who just happens to be black. Well, this is also, as we speak today,
clearly, he is so not involved with this damn case. Just listening to him. Clearly, he is so not involved in it. But he's on code, y'all, in case you didn't know. I don't know who this is, but he's some congressperson. But just based off of what he's saying right here, he does not know what's going on with the case. So he's just going to take the talking points, as politicians do, start spewing them, and he sounds crazy. For those of us that know what's going on and got a lot more information than this nigga. Yeah, I said this nigga, okay? Just say no comment. How about that? Nope. Make sure you go along with the code, child. Yeah, race, yeah. 7 white boys and 1 black boy. Name them. Name them. Who? 7? Now we up to 7? He was only seen with 3 in the picture. Now he talking about 7.
The anniversary, the date of Emmett Till's birth. And so
let's make sure we bring up Emmett Till, y'all. Wash, rinse, repeat. But don't listen to Tatum, because he is a race baiter. Not this man here.
I come from Chicago, and that was a Mississippi case. So history is repeating itself again.
History is repeating itself again. He don't even know what's going on, but history is repeating itself again, y'all. No comment would have worked better, sir. But no one else will call him out in his ignorancy and the fact that he don't know what's going on at all. I guess whatever it is that Jasmine Crockett may have told him to say, he's going to go ahead and say it. Interesting.
Repeating itself. So you're comparing the Nolan Wells case to the Emmett Till case.
Well, I'm just saying that there's a similarity, that there's a chord, there's a melody that comes.
Didn't Emmett Till allegedly whistle at a white woman or something? Oh, because Nolan was trying to allegedly get some yams from a white girl? Allegedly. That's what it is. Oh God, you people exhaust me. Justice for Freedom, thank you for the gems. I appreciate you. Y'all hit the like button for me, subscribe if you are new, but only if you got sense. If not, please don't. We don't need you.
From injustice, that the people that killed Emmett Till, they knew who did it, and they never were prosecuted. The young people that were around Mr. Wells, they know something, and they've never been thoroughly interrogated.
Well, it is an ongoing investigation. I mean, we still have some way to go. How do you think this is all going to shake out?
Well, I want the truth to come forward. I want the young people to say what they know. I see they're lawyered up. They're behind their family members that have judges. They've had days and weeks to corroborate stories. And so we need an independent investigation.
Independent?
The phones have been erased. The pictures have been deleted. The family had to independently retrieve the voice messages themselves.
He definitely going for some highlights.
The state has not lifted a finger then or now with Emmett Till or with Wells to get to the murder of a young black child.
Oh, do they need to do something with Emmett Till still, y'all? Anything? Kiana said they were prosecuted and acquitted. Who was prosecuted and acquitted? The people with Emmett Till? Is that what you're talking about, boo? So he wants them to be retried. Ain't those people dead? Or no? Child, Night J, girl, all I can do is laugh at this point because it's just in plain view. They ain't even trying to do anything new. It's just the same thing. Thank you. That's what I thought. Okay, the people with Emmett Till, They probably dead by now, wouldn't you think? They're talking about this man is just using talking points. He don't know nothing. He is not involved with this case. He's just going along. He's in the code. He's in the code by the book, following right along. He don't want to lose his job.
Who does an independent investigation? You're saying the sheriff's department isn't enough. So then who handles it?
Well, like we've seen before, this is where the federal judiciary is supposed to come in. But there's
The
been
feds.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, it's a murder. This Mr. Wells had a right to be alive. He had a right to life. And
Wait, who had a hold on? What, don't we all have a right to be alive, nigga? What?
So then who handles it?
well, like we've seen before, this is where the federal judiciary is supposed to come in. But there's
The
been
feds.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, so this is a way to bring Trump's name into it.
I mean, it's a murder. This Mr. Wells had a right.
Is it a murder? Did someone make the determination that this was a murder, y'all? And I missed it, Bueller. Somebody let me know. He said it. This man right here just said it was a murder. Has anyone confirmed that, Bueller? Do we know that? Murder? Panther Pride, thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate you, boo. That's what I'm thinking, because I'm pretty sure nobody said that. I'm pretty sure no one has said that. Child, these people just out here saying anything. Yeah, I know that lady died, but I'm sure she's not the one that beat him up. So I meant or that killed him. I'm sure there were some white men that did that. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm sure they must be dead. I'm assuming. No, I agree. Everybody that's just out here with fervor talking about this is what it is. Ain't nobody said nothing yet.
Had a right to be alive. He had the right to life, and that's been taken from him. So who did it? And if
I wonder if this dude was talking about all that with regard to the little girl and her boyfriend who took out 5 members of that family. You think he knows about that? You think he cares about that? Child, we could go down the list. Pretty sure he don't know nothing about none of those cases. But this is the numero uno one right now, because Crump is on it. That's why he's really here.
the local judiciary fails you, then this is where the federal government is supposed to supersede and intervene. So I would like to see a federal investigation.
That is Jonathan Jackson. I don't know where he come from, but just FYI, that's who the hell that is. I ain't never heard of him before. Moving on, child. Moving on. So, child, don't he look like Beavis or Butthead? Woo! My pauses are a mess today. Damn, he look like Beavis or Butthead. Which one is? Shit. Oh my God! All right. This is the where the forensic dude comes in, and he's on News Nation. Nolan Wells' autopsy has significant findings. Joseph Scott Morgan, Jesse Weber Live. Who is this guy? Child, he look crazy. Oh, that's too funny. Oh my, you hurt my feelings. I'm gonna go cry. He looks like me. Oh my God. Are y'all adults? Are y'all adults? Like, what the fuck?
An independent autopsy, this right here, which we're about to get into, this Mississippi teen could not determine how he died. The findings were announced today at a press conference held by Nolan's parents and their attorney, Ben Crump. The preliminary report.
I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? I didn't realize the kids was here, child. Y'all, you know you're not supposed to be here, and I know your parents hate you, so they're not watching you. But calm down. Just calm down. Okay. I knew you are, but what am I? You're showing your age.
Concluded that both Nolan's cause and manner of death remain undetermined pending further investigation. Now, Crump also said the report doesn't rule out the possibility of foul play. There were, I will tell you, a few findings that stood out. For example, the report describes this area of red discoloration at the back of Nolan's head. Its cause is unknown. Pathologist said the finding is significant enough for further investigation. The report also found no fractures, no deep tissue injuries. It also makes clear that there were important limitations to this examination because this was a second autopsy performed after the state of Mississippi had already completed its own examination. And the pathologist, indicated that certain parts of Nolan's body were missing, namely pieces of Nolan's throat. So therefore, according to Crump, you can't rule out injuries to the neck.
Did he call him Crumb?
To this, the pathologist also didn't have toxicology results, noted that the level of the body's decomposition, all complicating a definitive conclusion as to what happened to Nolan. And by the way, the results from the state medical examination haven't been released. The coroner's office is apparently waiting the toxicology report there too. So what do we make from this? What does it tell us about that first examination? I want to go straight to Joseph Scott Morgan, forensic expert, certified death investigator from Jacksonville State University, host of the incredible
Certified death investigator. What a name, child. What a title.
Body Bags podcast. Good to see you, sir. First thing I want everybody to know is, as we are evaluating this autopsy report, Dr. Roger Mitchell, you're familiar with his work, right? And you looked at this autopsy. How would you grade it?
Stellar. He did he did a fantastic job.
So the person that did the autopsy, the death inspector said he did a great job. And that man is black. The man that did the autopsy, he's black. And then they went over his credentials yesterday too.
Absolutely.
You said it was very thorough, the way he looked at the body?
Incredibly thorough. As a matter of fact, Jesse, there's a lot of things I can't go into on air out of good taste.
Sure.
But just suffice.
Oh, look at that. It says for Joseph Scott Morgan. Okay, this is Joseph Scott Morgan, a forensic analyst, certified death investigator, distinguished scholar of applied forensics from Jacksonville State University. So those are his credentials. The dude from yesterday that did the actual exam, he had good credentials. The lady in the purple went over it. So that's good. Those are two good things here. Night, Jade, I appreciate you. She said, I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever bounces off of me and sticks to you. Nana, nana, boo, boo. Child, that's what they sound like. So you're wasting time in life in here saying, oh, your wig is crooked. It actually isn't, but whatever you think and all this other dumb stuff. But have fun, because all views matter, y'all. All views matter.
To say his thoroughness rivals any autopsy that goes to this level where you need these kind of eyes on it. He did a fantastic job.
Okay, two questions. One, is it abnormal that this second autopsy, the body they're provided apparently didn't have body parts, didn't have throat structures, neck structures, and B, is that the reason the cause and manner of death are undetermined?
No, I think it's certainly a component of it, Jesse. The body, as the doctor points out, is absent the larynx and the trachea. So you're thinking about where your voice box is, and also your windpipe, otherwise known as a windpipe. And why is this significant? It's significant because these are areas that we look for relative to trauma, right? So crushing of the larynx, any kind of what we refer to as the strap muscles that kind of lace over the neck, that would give you an indication of where somebody could have throttled or done a ligature. And most importantly, and he makes note of this in his report, and where we heard this term before, there's no hyoid. So the hyoid has been contained or retained rather by the Mississippi State Medical Examiner's office there. And they're doing it, I think, probably for further consultation and perhaps from an evidentiary standpoint.
Does that mean that their conclusion would be definitive? If they're looking at these specific body parts, that they can come out and say, we know what happened to Nolan, we can give you the cause and manner of death. If they're going to at least retain those body parts for a specific reason, is that something we can expect?
Yeah, they're just not going to arbitrarily retain these. That's something that would have gone with the body, so they're holding on to that. And again, this is pending toxicology, so they're waiting for a combination of that. One of the problems that...
now I don't know that one body part he was saying. Let me rewind that. He's saying that they kept it on purpose because they're still looking at it. So maybe if the medical... whatever he's called, autopsy person was there to speak it, we would have known that. But instead, you get the race baiter that just said, everything is suspicious. Everything is suspicious. Not knowing what the hell he talking about, y'all. It kind of works when you get the actual professionals for the profession that they're trained in to do their job. It actually works.
What we refer to as the strap muscles that kind of lace over the neck, that would give you an indication of where somebody could have throttled or done a ligature. And most importantly, and he makes note of this in his report, and where we heard this term before, there's no hyoid. So the hyoid has been contained or retained rather by the Mississippi State.
The hyoid, I think he said hyoid, not thyroid.
Done a ligature, and most importantly, and he makes note of this in his report, and where we heard this term before, there's no hyoid. So
it's hyoid.
Hyoid has been contained or retained rather by the Mississippi State Medical Examiner's office there, and they're doing it, I think, probably for further consultation and perhaps from an evidentiary standpoint.
Does that mean that their conclusion would be definitive? If they're looking at these specific body parts, that they can come out and say, we know what happened to Nolan, we can give you the cause and manner of death. If they're going to at least retain those body parts for a specific reason, is that something we can expect?
Yeah, they're just not going to arbitrarily retain these. That's something that would have gone with the body, so they're holding on to that. And again, this is pending toxicology, so they're waiting for a combination of that. One of the problems that the second autopsy ran into is they could not assess whether or not this young man had water in his lungs, which is something that we look for in drowning. There are other areas, other things that we look for as well, but the doctor makes a specific comment on that as well.
Yeah, that he couldn't directly examine the airway, lung, or stomach. I got to ask you about this is something that's getting a lot of attention.
So they're not going to trust it. Y'all already know, right? The odds are it's going to be a drowning, though.
Whether or not this young man had water in his lungs, which is something that we look for in drowning. There are other areas.
Do they take pictures of that, though? Anybody know? That's nurses, doctors, interns. If do they take pictures of it? I'm just thinking, just asking, so that if/when the second medical examiner guy takes a look at it, they won't think that it's been, I don't know what the wording could even be, tampered with, I guess is the right word. I'm not really sure how to say it. Oh, they do? Okay. So they do take pictures. They video. Okay. Good. Oh, good. Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know, because I'm like, there's no way that they're going to believe anything. Okay. Finally, Kay has come in for some use. Finally. Lord, help your people. Just kidding. All right. Well, that's good. Okay. Cool.
Areas, other things that we look for as well. But
we got to ask, because Ben is not going to tell anybody once he says, but we didn't get a chance to see it and they could have tampered with it. And it's like, okay, but they're recording it all, sir. So, now what are you going to say? He'll come up with something. I have no doubt that he will come up with something.
The doctor makes a specific comment on that as well.
Yeah, that he couldn't directly examine the airway, lung, or stomach. I got to ask you about this is something that's getting a lot of attention. Is this red discoloration in the soft tissue at the back of Nolan's head? If I even go to the report and I go to the first page of it, they call it focal area of red discoloration in the soft tissue of the back of the head, occipital region. Talk to me about what that could be. And this is the most important question, I think. Whatever this is, this abrasion, this discoloration, potential injury, whatever, the only way it could have been inflicted is before Nolan died, meaning he had to have been alive when this happened?
Well, what the doctor is saying that he cannot include or exclude, and what he would be looking for specifically in this red discoloration is if there is evidence of hemorrhage. One of the problems that he's running up against here, and it makes sense, is that he's in a significant state of decomposition at this point, particularly by the time the doctor is performing the second autopsy. So that area is compromised. So it does make note of that. Also, I have to make this comment.
Oh, I think they did say that, because obviously it's a dead body, so it's deteriorating. That's what he's saying.
Hemorrhage. One of the problems that he's running up against here, and it makes sense, is that he's in a significant state of decomposition at this point, particularly by the time the doctor is performing the second autopsy. So that area is compromised. He does make note of that. Also, I have to make this comment, Jesse, that with red discoloration like this, sometimes this is in fact indicative of decomposition. It'll turn to a red color. So he's trying to balance this along the way. And keep in mind, he frames everything from the perspective of the fact that this is an ongoing investigation. He has reached no definitive conclusions.
By the way, should the family have been allowed an independent autopsy simultaneously with the state medical examiner?
I've been present for autopsies where you have other physicians in the suite as this is going on. Sometimes it can create quite a bit of havoc. I hate to talk about it, but you go back to Epstein. Keep in mind, Bodden was present there in the suite as a representative of Epstein's family while that autopsy was being performed, but it's really hard to work around one another.
Final point about this. Report found no fractures.
So he was asking about them being in the room at the same time. So that doesn't mean people were able to get that done, but this is interesting.
No deep tissue injuries. As I think about what potentially happened to Nolan Wells, I'm wondering if you're dealing with a body of water, if you're dealing with potential drowning, would you ever really know whether or not this was foul play or not? How would you know if he was held down or pushed in or something happened as opposed to other kinds of circumstances?
Holding down and pushing down are very difficult.
Fair.
However, what is critical here is that they do testing to see if he was drowned. You look in the inner ear, you look in the airway and in the lungs, and you also do diatom tests, which are looking for these little creatures at a microscopic level. I'm hoping they're doing that. And, beyond that, you're looking for specific trauma. And right now, they're not really saying anything about it.
Okay, so we'll see what the results of these.
So you can't say that if someone actually drowned him, but if they said, and this is the Ben Crumpin crew, that it was one of the boys that Nolan was in the picture with. This is why you shouldn't jump to conclusions when you don't know what the hell it is that you're talking about. They condemned them right quick. They said it was them. They know something. They did something. They didn't come to the funeral. They lured up. The mama said something and she's the judge. All that, they ran off at the mouth. To then turn around and find out that there was possibly thousands of people on this island. I'm telling you, initially, because they wanted to run off at the mouth and get this race grift going, they didn't even think about all the other people who were there. They didn't know that you cannot dock. They didn't know that there's absolutely nothing on this island. It's just sand. It's just like a sand barge. That these yachts, ships, boats cannot dock. All they can do is wade. And if you want to get to the island, you need to go through the water in order to get there. So you have to swim there, wade there, doggy paddle to land, which would be a reason why no one would have their phone. You remember he wanted to make a big deal about the phone? Phone, he didn't have a phone. No teenager don't have their phone. What teenager don't have their phone? We already heard him say that most people leave on the boat because what they're going to do is possibly have it in the water. They jump in the gun, didn't wait. This is the problem. This is why the story is falling apart. Because too busy getting black people riled up, of which they're going to stay riled up, and they're not going to listen to the actual facts. It's factual. And all the videos that they've been showing have been people videoing from boats. Just people videoing from boats. This picture here on the boat. That's what happens when you follow MFers who just want to say it's race, and you have no proof. Maybe people should start calming the fuck down and waiting for some information before they start grifting. This is proof positive already that from his perspective only that he's a fucking grift. So this dude here kind of explained the back of the head. It's deteriorating, which makes sense. What is this? Week number 3 to 4? That a body is just out here. Well, not now, but body was just out here, going there. Right? But a lot of the stuff that nigga been saying is bullshit, which we already knew because he does the same shit over and over again. But too many black people gotta have a way to say that racism is a part of the reason why their lives suck. And they need white people's approval while trying to say that I'm the white supremacist because I could give a shit. But they need to know that white people are wrong for something. I don't need to know none of that. I don't give a fuck. I don't be thinking about white people. I honestly don't be thinking about you Negroes. But I do be trying to help y'all, whether you realize it or not. But y'all would rather follow Crump, who can't even speak, who just wants to make as much money as possible. Al Sharpton, same thing for what? How old is that nigga? 60 some odd years. Everything is about race. Everything. Black people fall for it. Wash, rinse, repeat. Nothing ever changes. Wait for the next body to drop. Go do the same thing all over again. Nothing changes. Oh, well, these people get a lot of money. Well, in this case, these people are now millionaires. Carmelo, what are they? Probably millionaires by now with their $600,000, $700,000. I wonder if there was one for, what is his name? Child, the one in South Carolina, Corbin, I forget his name. I wonder if they set up a GoFundMe for him. That one was 3 years old, so they just jumped on that just because they heard about the verdict. They didn't really care about that little boy at all. That Rick Child man was in jail for 3 years. They won't tell y'all that. That case was 3 to 4 years old before that verdict came in. They won't tell y'all that. Nobody was worried. Nobody, Cyrus, thank you, Kevin. Nobody cared. Nobody was down there. Nobody was helping that family. They just sat there and they suffered. Oh, well, child, let me get y'all up in here because it goes along with the grift that we're trying to get through. So that's how he got put up in here. And then that's where the Asian boycott came in, of which they said no Asian shops, no laundromats, no Chinese food, no nothing. And then you find out that Nolan's mother and Nolan are Asian, and now no one cares. Her phenotype, she said, is black woman, and since they want to make sure that race plays a part for black people, they're going to keep on going and not even care about the Asian side. And then black women later on will say, we do everything. That's because y'all want to do everything, because y'all don't see no Asians running out to their defense. You don't see no, did we see, somebody brought this up to me, any Asians at the funeral that y'all remember? I mean, I know it was thoroughly focused on Milk Dud Head and the skinny reverend. Anybody see any Asians out there, like family members? Because we've seen that she does have family members. The mama is deceased. Plenty of family members, but I don't recall seeing any of them there. That's interesting. So they didn't come because Nolan touched everybody in everybody's life. Why wouldn't the family come? Anyway, it's questions. We know the color community don't like to ask questions. They just like to jump off of cliffs, follow race grifters. Nothing ever gets done. These families get rich and they still doing the same thing. But I digress. Let's move on now. Shout out to some sanity and listen to part 3 of Tatum's interview with child. I don't remember his name. Wyatt or Warren child. It says Nolan Wells' best friend exposes why Nolan was left on the island. This is part 3. And when we're done, we'll see if there is a part 4. Shout out to Tatum for this interview and going and doing the work that Ben Crump would not do. Ben Crump didn't hire anybody to do. Neither did daggone Al Sharpton. Because if you're going to sit up here and complain about what the white people aren't doing, then shouldn't you send somebody down there to do it? No. But while you complain about white people, you got white lawyers there on your team, child. But y'all going to see it how you want to. He can do no wrong to y'all. Anyway, let's hear it, child. And I am speeding it up.
Any knowledge that you have that anybody deleted stuff from his phone?
I mean, Nolan was like a brother to me. Nolan lit up every room he walked in. 4th of July, everybody was out there. Nolan rode out on the Triton, and then we had a Palm Beach, 18 Palm Beach. There was 4 guys on that. The rest of the group, which was ranged from maybe 10 to 15 or 16 people on my buddy's tide line.
Yeah, so y'all pretty much having a good time. And then you guys get ready to leave prematurely.
Right.
And like, explain that, because you guys got there around 10.
Yeah.
It's now 4:30. Right. People are still out there partying and they're having a good time, but something happened to where it necessitated you guys to get the boat up and running. Can you explain that?
Yeah. So I had a girl come up to me and say, hey, your brother just got in a fight. And obviously I have a younger brother, and that's who she was talking about. And I was freaked out. So I walked over to the beach, and I didn't walk over. I ran over. I made a beeline. I didn't talk to anybody, put my drink down and walked over there. And my brother was kind of angry, and there was a lot going on, but someone was getting pulled away. I don't know who it was. And my brother was like, oh, I just got in a fight, and this guy punched me in the face, and I punched him right back, and then went to the ground, and my brother put him in an arm bar. And
was Nolan involved in any of this?
Absolutely not. When I was over there, it was a bunch of younger guys like my brother's age, and
ghetto, child, ghetto.
I mean, Nolan, I never saw Nolan over there. Yeah. Absolutely not. And okay, sorry, I just lost my train of thought.
So you get ready to go. There's an issue with the boat.
Okay, yeah.
And this is
what this led up to that. That's what I'm saying.
So the fight happened with your brother, or a little scuffle. I'm assuming that.
What's his brother's name? What is his name?
It was cleared up.
You're right.
You got your brother out of that situation, and then how did you find out that this boat is sinking?
Well, I walk back over, and like we're probably around each other for a little bit. I mean, I wasn't thinking anything about it. I told my brother, I pulled my brother off the beach, and I was just like, listen, get in the water, hang out with us, calm down. I mean, he was calm, but I didn't want anything else to happen, And so once I got back over the boat, I got on the Triton.
Child, the adults at this shindig were they didn't care about nothing going on. Clearly, nothing.
And the Triton had probably about 6 inches of water up to the transom. And I was freaked out because I'm good friends with Wyatt, and that was his boat. And no water's coming out, no access water's coming out. And, it was a big issue, because I think the reason was because there were so many people getting on and off the boat. And at some point the boat was very, very crowded, and there was just a lot of people on, so that it drags water in. And eventually, I think over time, we were out there for a couple hours, the boat just started filling up with water. So I popped the starboard side hatch, and the battery was completely underwater. And so the motor wouldn't trim down. I mean, my buddy would go to trim it down from the console, and it'd trim down, and then it'd come right back up. And so Wyatt's trying to throw a rear anchor, so we're caught, and he's, yelling at people. Everybody's kind of freaking out. And eventually I'm like yelling at other people, trying to tell them, calm down. Like, the boat could possibly sink, and I'm not paying attention to everyone around me, I was paying attention to my buddy's boat. And that's what all my other friends that were on that boat were doing, trying to solve the problem.
So you're on the boat now. The water's getting up to the point where the boat may be disabled to where you couldn't get it out from Horn Island. So what happens after that?
Wyatt jumps in the water, tries to throw a rear anchor.
Boaters, co-sign this. I'm not a boater, but I know that there's some here. We already looked up that bilgo horn or whatever the hell it is that he called it. But y'all, people that know about boating, is what he's saying. Does that make sense?
And my buddy Meyer, you're sitting looking, trying to pull trash out the bilge. And the bilge is basically a pump that pulls the water, the excess water out the boat. So the bilge was failing to work. So any excess water was just sitting in the boat. It wasn't getting pumped out. And I looked over the gunnel and I looked at the release hole for the bilge and it was even with the water. So, I mean, we're all freaking out. All of our, we're not focused on anything else other than the boat. Well, then eventually my buddy Bart on the tide line is like, I'm going to pull y'all out to where we're out of all this, all this chaos. Cause we left at 4:30 and there were still just as many people there, if not more than when we got there. I mean, probably around the same amount. I mean, it was crazy. Like there was a lot of people. And eventually Bart pulls us out. We left at 4:30, but we really weren't pulled out away from everybody. We were probably about a quarter mile out and we had the towing strap pulled from, Bart's port side cleat or starboard side cleat. And he was on our starboard side bow. And so it was rubbing on his power pole. So Bart turned around, pulled up next to our boat, and we were just trying to get it situated. So that's when Wyatt called Cito. And Wyatt was like, calls him because the cell service isn't great.
Okay, I don't know what he's talking about. Somebody got to let me know. I don't know what he's talking about. This is boat stuff, though. Another thing that Ben doesn't want to talk about and explain because he doesn't know and he's not going to look into it, right? Just go ahead and say make it seem like it's just these people on there when we know there was thousands of people there. But, just let Ben tell y'all what's what. Shout out to Smoke and Talk in the building. Thank you for this gold coin. Thank you for this gold coin. And thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Shout out to Smoke and Talk up in here. Happy belated birthday. If y'all did not, make sure you tell Severe happy belated birthday. Thank you for another gold coin. I appreciate you. Okay, that's what I heard him say, that somebody was towing the boat. So those are the people, I guess, that they were on the phone with when we heard that phone call. Again, nobody wanted to talk to that stuff. They don't want to talk about this stuff. And if you're not looking into it all, you're not going to know this. So just continue to listen to DL Hughley and Ben Crump and Al Sharpton, though. Anyway,
right at the island. But once you can use your phone, but stuff might not descend. And it's not great. You got maybe one bar, it won't work that well. But once you get a little off the island, you have cell coverage. And even on the island, I called my mom when we were on the island, it was fine. We had enough cell coverage to make a phone call or shoot a text over, but you don't have enough cell coverage to send a picture, for example. So what?
So I want to go back.
Thank you, Reaper, for the flowers. I appreciate you. Robert Heaton said, hold it. Yeah, that was a very expensive boat. They said a 22 Triton, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what he said yesterday. I don't know what that means, but yeah, it sounded like he definitely knew about boats and boating. I do not. So this is just kind of foreign to me. But shout out to him for Tatum for at least going and listening instead of Crump, who just is assuming, because that's all he's doing. Shout out to Reaper for 20 memberships. I appreciate you. Thank you so much as always. If you got a membership, please make sure you thank Death the Reaper for it. Pretty sure that's where it comes from most of the daggone time. Thank you all. Shout out to all the channel members and shout out to all the racists that are here. You will be blocked soon, so you can leave voluntarily or continue to be racist. That's the blacks too, okay? Because don't think that you get a pass, because you do not. Shout out to Tatum for doing the work that the alleged people who want to solve this and know what really happened will not do.
I want to touch on that real quick because the phone thing came up at some point. And so was it when you guys got off the boat?
Yeah.
I mean, were people taking their phones off the boat, or is that not typical? Because I know that Nolan's phone was left on the boat.
Right.
even though, after you guys had left. So can you explain that? Because I think people need to understand this a little clearer.
Yeah.
Was it typical for people to have their phones left on boats, or did they keep their phones in the water?
Yeah. I mean, everybody kind of goes out to the island to get away from, their phones and everything else. I know I got on the boat to get away from, just.
They get on the boat to get away from their phones. I know a lot of people don't know nothing about that because all you have in your life is your phone. So they get away. That's too cute. Thank you, J Mac, for the finger heart that just came through over here. I saw it. Thank you, Boo. I appreciate you. They get away. It sounds like you would be getting away if you go get on a boat, right? People usually go do a lot of fishing. I guess they just hang out there. Only thing I know about people who I've ever heard at a boat was one when they go fishing. That's it. But not it probably was not a boat as big as the ones that we saw that his friend has. Just those ones that look like, don't move too much or else you might fall out. One of those.
The regular world. And no, when you're waist deep in water, no one's carrying their phone in their hand. Especially at Horn Island, the water has been very, very murky because of the rain. And when it's just very risky. If you're gonna have your phone in the water, some people might for a couple minutes and like maybe taking some pictures of each other. I know a lot of girls like to take pictures in the water at Horn Island. Guys do too. Like people like to take pictures and but a lot.
No, girls like to take pictures. No,
all the pictures you see are on the boat for a reason. And so, no, I mean if someone is on their phone in the water, they're using it real quick and then putting it right back on the boat. We were all waist deep in water. No one's sitting there scrolling on their phone. I never saw that once. And I've never seen that once. And I've been out the Highland my whole life. I mean, that's just not something people do. People aren't on their phones. And everybody has their phone, yes, but it's always on the boat. No one's getting off the boat with their phone. So
no one's getting off the boat with their phone, probably because they have to swim in to land. But Crump is not going to explain that. Crump is not going to look into that. So they'll just go ahead and just say it was only those three boys. So say they must have did something to Nolan and it's racial. And what teenager don't have their phone? Sounds like most of the ones that went to Horn Island.
So you guys get ready to leave out of there, getting towed out. Yeah. And then where's Nolan in this situation?
Well, the last time I saw Nolan was 3:00. And Nolan was cradling a girl in his arms, Katie. Katie. And Katie, Nolan was sitting there, and the last time I saw him, I looked at Nolan.
Katie, definitely white.
And Nolan was like shaking his head, laughing, and I was like, "Dude, you crazy?" I was like just joking with him. And but anyway, Nolan, that was the last time I laid eyes on him. But when we were leaving, obviously, no one is getting left at the island that came with us unless they demanded to, be there and asked. This is a very common thing at Horn Island. When you're out there, a lot of people ride out there with someone and in with somebody else all the time. I've done that 100 times. It's a very common thing, but Nolan was sitting by the boat with that Katie girl, and my buddy yelled for Nolan, get on the boat.
Are y'all listening? Are y'all listening? I'm very confused. Do y'all listen? Like I said, this is why there's no point in trying to reason with the unreasonable, y'all. We heard this yesterday. He just repeated it today. Nobody takes their phone to the island because you have to wade through the water, you jackasses. You do not dock at Horn Island. If you watch the video from yesterday, you see that there's no place to dock. A boat cannot come up into the fucking shore. They're going to get stuck. So they have to stay out here. And then they have to swim in to onto the island, you jackasses. So where would he put his phone? Where? In his hair? This is why none of them have phones. The videos taken are from the fucking boats, you assholes. Do you listen? Y'all don't know what comprehension is, huh? They're out there to enjoy themselves, not be on the fucking phone. The dude just said that. You cannot dock. It is not a place where you can put your boat, tie it up, step on. You have to swim to the island. Where, pray tell, do you motherfuckers think people put in their phones? None of the videos that you have seen were from the island. They were from a boat. God, why do y'all have to be such jackasses? Except the fact that Ben Crump doesn't give a fuck. It's about money. That's all it's about with regard to him. He's not interested in getting at the truth. He's interested in sowing race issues. That's it. They get money for this. Why do you all not see this shit? You all just want to blame somebody so badly. It is an accident. The odds are that this was an accident. You see, they only just started talking about the fact that Nolan and the rest of his friends were drinking. They all were out there drinking. Guess what? They're not old enough to drink. It's hot as fuck in Miami. In Mississippi, I can attest I was there on the 4th of July. Hot AF on the actual 4th of July day. Humid, hot, sticky. You out there all damn time or all damn day. You're drinking. You're probably not in tip-top shape to be swimming. Nolan can swim. Okay, so can I. But I'm telling you, after drinking all day, being outside all day in the heat and humidity of July summer, you're probably not at your best. Just like Malcolm Jamal Warner, who's up at the crack of dawn. Where was he at, y'all? I feel like he was in the Caribbean or something. And he got taken out. That's why the next thing that I'm hoping that they do is talk about the riptide and the currents, because that makes a difference. But again, Ben Crump ain't gonna tell y'all none of that. And black people ain't gonna hear, because enough of y'all, I ain't say all of y'all, don't know about fucking swimming. Because, child, just because you put your feet in and you don't go all the way in and you don't fucking swim, like stroke, like move and use your feet and your hands, then you don't understand. Shout out to Bernie Mac. Especially in the fucking ocean. Lord have mercy. This is what I'm saying. You cannot reason with the unreasonable. They're going to stick to the shit no matter what. They're going to stick no matter what the fucking proof is. There's enough proof to say these boys were already gone. Nolan was alive. How do y'all still blame them? How do y'all still blame them? They were gone. He was still alive. 4:30. The mama said that. The mama said that.
We're leaving. The boat's having issues. And like, no, he didn't say that, but he was panicking. Nolan, get the F on the boat. Get on the boat. And Nolan said, no, I'm staying out here. I'm going to ride in with somebody else. And it's not uncommon to hear, but it's not like
and let's not also act like young males don't want ass. So now y'all are gonna act like when you were 18 and 19, you wasn't trying to be around some women. So y'all gonna toss that out here too. And you women are gonna act like you wasn't trying to hang out with some dude that you liked either. Yeah. So that's the narrative you're going with in order to fit this fake ass narrative that Ben Crump came up with absolutely no fucking proof. None. Now you're getting some proof of some shit. Y'all don't want to believe it.
My buddy asked him one time. My buddy asked Nolan multiple times to get on the boat. Nolan, get on the boat. Get on the boat. We're leaving. If you're coming, you got to come now. And Nolan made a decision to stay out on the island. And like he said, how
many people heard that?
At least 5. I mean, everyone that was on our boat right there, because the Palm Beach had already left. My buddy went ahead and went home on the Palm Beach, and 3 guys on the way back. And Nolan wasn't the only person to ride out there with us and in with somebody else. I mean, we had multiple people in our group that rode out with us and rode in on someone else's boat. And that, like I said, that's not an uncommon thing to do. I mean, a lot of people do that. I could name probably 50 people out there that day that ran out with somebody and ran back in with somebody else. So, I mean, it's not like it's an uncommon thing, but it's not like we just left him there or my friends just left him there. Nolan made a decision to stay on the island after my friends asked him multiple times and told him to get on the boat, and he decided to stay.
And I heard the girl that he was with, Katie, had text somebody that she heard people yelling for Nolan to get on. Is that true?
And I have a picture of that. She texted my buddy, and the next day everybody was panicking and everybody's texting Katie, because she was obviously seen with Nolan the whole day at the island. Katie sent a message to my buddy the next day and said, this is the last time I saw him, he's really sweet. But she also mentioned that the last time she saw Nolan was when my buddy was yelling at him to get on the boat. And she was right there to see that Nolan decided not to.
Yeah. And so you guys get in the boat, you start to get towed in and you make it back. Now explain how that you get to the point where you were concerned about Nolan? Because obviously you said, hey, Nolan, y'all need to, or somebody, not
when
you,
did I get
but
to that point?
you guys have made mention Nolan need to get on a boat.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Yeah.
You guys get back to wherever you're going.
Right.
Explain that. Did you guys go back to somebody's house, or you guys like what happened there? And then when did you feel like, well, wait a minute, where's Nolan?
Right. Okay. Well, running in was very chaotic. I mean, Nolan chose to stay on the island, so my focus wasn't on anything else other than the boat, you know, because if the boat doesn't get in, then no one gets in. You know, I don't want to sink out there on my buddy's boat, and no one does. But my buddy Wyatt jumped out and pulled the plug on the boat once we kind of got out there, because he got the motor to trim down. And the motor trimmed down. My buddy Wyatt pulled the plug, and we planed off. We moved.
What does a motor trim down mean? Boaters, what does a motor trim down mean? That's what he just said for the boaters, because I don't know what he's talking about. He back talking about the boat. Azriel, thank you so much for the support. Messy, hi, pretty lady. Thank you, boo. Hello to you. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Shout out to Aliyah, the normals. Shout out to C Money. Thank you for the silver star. I appreciate you. Trim the motor. Okay, what does that mean? What does that mean? It's not fun when your motor gives you trouble. Well, what does trim the motor mean, though? So the boat rides level. Oh, so it doesn't weeble wobble. Okay. The boat leveled out, Messy, so they can pull the plug and the water out. Okay. Because he got salt budgets and stuff. Y'all probably don't even. Okay. And you are stuck in the middle of the water. Gotcha. All right. Hold on. A boat trim motor operates the hydraulic system that adjusts your engine's angle. Costs $50 to $300 to replace, depending on your engine's brand. Blah 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 blah. Thank you, Reaper. There you go. A boat trim motor operates the hydraulic system that adjusts your engine's angle. All righty. Shout out to the best mods around this bitch. Thank you so much, Reaper. I appreciate you. So there we go. That's stuff that boaters would know. Shout out to the boaters. Panther, thank you for the gold coin. I appreciate you. Good to know. Interesting stuff. We be leering around here.
All the way to the front of the boat so we could plane off. And eventually we planed off. The boat was running. So when you're planed off and you have water in the boat and you're hauling, you know, we're going pretty fast. We're going probably 40, 42 miles an hour. And so all that excess water that was built up in the boat is coming out of the boat. So, I mean, that's what we had to do. So we ran into Fort Bayou, and we didn't just run straight up my buddy's grandparents' house. We ran into Fort Bayou. A couple of us jumped in the water, and Wyatt, like, the whole reason for the stop was so Wyatt could hop in and put the plug back in the boat. So then after that, we went and docked it, and I went back to my buddy's house, and we ate and, napped for a little bit. It was a long day at the island, so, we were all tired. And eventually we go over to, a girlfriend of mine. She was having people over for 4th of July. We were doing like fireworks and stuff. So we all went over there to swim and, hang out. And I was
this infamous picture that I've seen online of Nolan in the water in the swimming pool.
Yeah.
Where is this picture associated with? Because you said you guys went back to swim. Nolan wasn't with you.
Yeah.
So where's this picture at? Like, what is it? What's the context around that picture that's been floating?
That picture is taken on June 27th, a week before the 4th of July. We all went to a friend of ours in Pass Christian. We have a lot of friends from Bay St. Louis, Pass Christian. We all went over there to hang out, and
And Nolan was in that picture.
Nolan was in that picture, and if you look in the picture, my arm is around Nolan in that picture. And I mean, that was a week before the 4th of July, so that picture is not associated within even the same. I mean, that was like a week before, so yeah.
So you guys are now at swimming and having a good time at a lady friend's house.
Right. I never got to the pool. I talked to her dad for a while, and
Prince, thank you, honey. Said I would not let my kid be talking without a lawyer. We don't know that a lawyer is not here because obviously this is cut. You see the angles, the jumps. So someone edited this, and there's a lot of edits. So there could be somebody that's sitting there. There's more than just the two of them for sure. I'm pretty sure this is either a hotel room or some sort of a place where you sit down and you can podcast and stuff like that. But I don't think this is either. I don't think that this is this young man's home at all. I don't think that at all. Tatum ain't gonna be staying in the Motel 6, so it's probably a hotel, honestly.
I mean, all my friends were downstairs. I went upstairs, talked to her dad. We were talking about boats and stuff, and I've been with my friends all day. I was just talking to everybody, but
So you talked to the young lady's dad, and then how long was it before you realized, or you guys realized that, well, where's Nolan at?
I mean, I went back downstairs, and all my friends were just hanging out, and my buddy Wyatt had addressed, talking about Nolan. And I was like, well, where is Nolan? Have y'all heard from him? And he was like, no, we haven't. And I was like, okay, well, it's a little concerning. Like, I mean, I'm not freaking out or anything, but like, I'm trying to find out where Nolan is. So I texted Javon, and I was like, hey, and also a couple other buddies that I had at the island. I was like, hey, have y'all seen Nolan? Did he ride in with y'all? And all the boys were like, no. Well, I texted Javon, and I was like, hey, can you send me Miss Christine's number? Because I haven't heard from Nolan. And if she hasn't heard from Nolan, then I'm calling the Coast Guard. And so eventually, Javon sent me her number.
Who is her? That's
Miss Christine.
Miss Christine is
Nolan's mom.
Nolan's mom.
Yeah. And I walked down to the dock because, I mean, there was a lot of people today. It was not a lot, but, there was probably 15 of our friends there. And I was just like, walked down to the dock with a couple of my buddies, and I got on the phone. I called Miss Christine, called her the first time. She didn't answer. I called her a second time, and I got on the phone with her, and I asked her if she had heard from Nolan. She said no. And I said, all right, well, don't freak out. I'm going to call the Coast Guard. And this was at about 11 o'clock.
So what's your intent in calling the Coast Guard, right? Because right now, Nolan could be with a chick. He could be with somebody else.
Right.
He could have gone back with somebody else. What made you concerned enough that you felt like you couldn't weigh it out anymore? You had to call the Coast Guard.
Well, I mean, like I said, my friends and I have been on the water our whole life. Stuff happens. People die all the time. I know people that have died out there. And, it's a fun place to be, but it's also a very, very dangerous place to be if you're not handling it right. And Nolan, so I hadn't heard from him.
Did the mama say that child, which one is this? Warren, I think, called her. Do y'all remember? Did she say that Warren called her to let her know? Because then I think she did call, I guess, the police, I think at about 11:54. Because it's easily verifiable with phone records that you could see if this dude called or not. Real Relly, thank you for the gems. I appreciate you. Did I do that one already? If I didn't, I apologize. Elizabeth, thank you, boo. She said, I'm out taking my white ass to Target to use my Black Funds discount. You ain't shit. I told him he's supposed to be boycotting me in Target. He's not on code. Goodbye, girl. Have a good time at Target. I am tired of you. You go on. Shout out to Elizabeth. I cannot. Have a fun. Tell my nephew that I said hello. Goodbye, child. Goodbye. I cannot.
And obviously, I'm thinking I'd way rather be safe than sorry. I mean, I would rather call the Coast Guard 100 times and lose my mind over it, and my buddy be okay, than not, and me not know where he is and him not be okay. And so I called the Coast Guard, and I talked to them on the phone for like 20 minutes, gave him a description, what Nolan was wearing, the last place we were at, the last time I saw him, who were we with, what boat we were on.
Something else that's verifiable. Something else that's verifiable.
On the conditions of the water, just a summary. And I called Miss Christine back after, and I talked to her, and I said, I got to contact the Coast Guard. I'm not sure who she called or, what she did, but I think she said she was going to make a couple phone calls to either DMR or Jackson County Sheriff's Office. And I was thinking worst case scenario. Like, I would way rather be safe than sorry about this,
Yeah, so you
They may have, they probably know that they have his phone though. Because they said that they kept the phones, everybody's phone was on the boats because you have to wade in. You have to swim into the island. So no one took their phones. So they stayed on the boat. So when they were leaving, his phone was probably on the boat, and there's no point in calling his phone because they have it. I would assume. I don't know, but I would assume. I don't know. Well, listen, he's making points of he called the mother, he called the Coast Guard. All that stuff is verifiable. So what would be the lie? I mean, if it comes out that he lied, then he'd be a stupid asshole. But those are things that you can tell who called out. You can tell who called in. I'm assuming if you call the Coast Guard, it's probably a recorded call as well. Allegedly, I don't know. Can somebody confirm or deny that? So what would he lie for? For shit that's verifiable. All this shit is verifiable. And these clearly are not the ones that deleted him, because they left and he was still there. He said that the white girl said that they were there when they were telling Nolan to come, and he said no, he was going to stay. So again, Ben Crump's not going to tell you all that. So then when it seemed like that wasn't going to be, yes, it was the same day. It was that night. He's not going to come and correct himself. He's not going to tell Black people about these pretty important details that are the verifiable things. He's just going to let y'all simmer out here and be mad and boycott white people and boycott Asians, but then y'all accept Asians, and then y'all accept white people when they're on Ben Crump's team, or when there's somebody that you like, significant other like Don Lemon. That's okay though. But anyway, continue.
So it seems like you called mom immediately.
Right.
Probably the first phone call that you got from anybody.
That's the first phone call, like at least I made. And I would assume that's the first phone call she got from anybody, because Javon hadn't called her. And, there's nothing wrong with that, but Javon hadn't called her. And, I was just worried about my friend. Stuff happens out there, boat problems, it could be anything. But, there's a lot of stuff that happens out there, and I was just worried about my friend.
And so you guys made that call, nothing that night. And I'm assuming you wake up the next day, and then what happens?
I wake up the next day at about 7:30, and my dad had texted me, because obviously Nolan's photo was all over Facebook, and I just saw it everywhere, and I was freaked out, because I was like, oh my gosh, I assumed Nolan's just we had been drinking all day, and that he's just
he admitted it again. He admitted it. They've been drinking all day. Trump don't seem to want to tell y'all that. Because we all know that drinking and heat and humidity go together so well. They go together like sugar and spice, child. Sugar and spice.
Sleeping somewhere, and that he's okay. But I didn't want to believe that if we didn't know for sure. So, next day I woke up and my stepdad walked to my room. He said, hey, have they heard anything about Nolan? What's going on? Because I hadn't spoke to him. And he was like, I was like, yeah, no, I don't know. I just gotten up. And he was like, all right, well, we're going and getting on the boat and looking for him. And I was like, okay, yeah. So I got my buddy Ricky, I got my buddy Brooks, I got my buddy Jax. My mom came on the boat with my stepdad.
Their names is Ricky, Brooks, and Jax. White.
Dad and I, and we all went out there and looked. When I got out there was dozens of DMR boats, helicopters, planes flying over Horn Island. And this wasn't just Horn Island. There was also Ship Island they were looking at, I'm sure, and Chandelier Island, Petty Boy. It wasn't just Horn Island specifically, but where I was at Horn, there were boats everywhere, and not just random boats, but marine resource boats and, cops and, the whole nine. It wasn't there was just a couple boats looking for Nolan. There was planes and helicopters and, everybody. So.
And then after this, obviously they didn't find Nolan that day.
Right.
And so what was your reaction like when you heard the news, or how did you hear the news that they found Nolan's body?
Well, the next day, it got to be about 1 o'clock on July 5th. And I was like, my mind started to turn. I was like, man, if he's not awake yet, where is he? I got very, very worried. And, I was with my buddy Brooks the next day, and we're driving, and my buddies were texting our group chat. They were like, hey, listen, I got a phone call from my buddy Trayson. And he was like, hey man, they just found his body. And
Trayson, white name. What is a beer cramp? Is that a thing? What's a beer cramp? You just drink a lot of beer and you get a cramp in your stomach or something? So you hardly had a chance to go missing and no one did their job? I don't know. The people, the adults on the island clearly bought the beer. Clearly, they bought the beer. Have probably had it on all the yachts. But then again, whoever they were on this yacht, which we watched yesterday, they're clearly rich. They probably just got it on ice, honestly. Probably just sitting there waiting for them to go boating. It's not a big thing. It's not a big deal to them. Allegedly. It's probably not a big deal to them. Kids take the beer with you when you go, allegedly, boating. I'm just saying, allegedly. I don't know. Anyway.
hey, listen, then I got a phone call from my buddy Trace, and he was like, hey man, they just found his body. And I was like, I wanted to have hope, but it was really, really hard to have hope when they haven't found your buddy in the last 2 days. And, but there's still a little bit of hope there, you know, like maybe, you know, he's not gone and maybe, you know, he's okay. But my reaction was just, I was with my buddy Brooks and I broke down. I mean, I haven't experienced death a lot, but especially with someone I'm as close with as Nolan. And I mean, I broke down and
let me rewind this because I wasn't really listening because I'm seeing what y'all were writing. They peed in the water. That's what I told y'all yesterday. That's what I said before Tatum even went to the island. They're peeing and they're pooping in the water. That's another reason why they all wading in there and shit. Like literally wading and shit. If you got to go to the bathroom, unless one of those bigger boats has a bathroom, but then I'm sure they're not letting everybody on it. Water. I mean, y'all men can pee wherever you want to, but the odds are they went in the water because there's no bathrooms, there's no facilities, there's no buildings, there's nothing on this island. It's just barge of sand. That's it. That's it. Yeah, somebody was looking for him. Somebody was looking for him, and then they ended up calling the mom. And that's probably when she decided to go call, I think it was Javon's mom or something, whatever happened at that point. I don't know. And so then that's when it started around midnight, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah. Anyway.
I wanted to have hope, but it was really, really hard to have hope when they haven't found your buddy in the last 2 days. And, but there's still a little bit of hope there, you know, like maybe, you know, he's not gone and maybe, you know, he's okay. But my reaction was just, I was with my buddy Brooks and I broke down. I mean, I haven't experienced death a lot, but especially with someone I'm as close with as Nolan. And I mean, I broke down and I sat there on my buddy Brooks' shoulder and I cried. And I was upset. I made a couple phone calls to my buddies and checked up on my buddies because, you know, I care about my buddies too. I mean, like we're all experienced this. Like we all realized at the same time. We all heard the news at the same time. Like, you know, he's gone. And so it was really, really hard on me. I mean, I've never experienced something like this, and it was traumatic. I mean, I could tell you where and when I was there, when I got that phone call, you know, where I was, and I just remember it, like it was insane. Like I can't even put into words how upset I was, you know, and how upset my friends were. So,
and then comes the stories and the backlash,
right,
and the craziness. I mean, you guys are now hearing that you're responsible for it. You did it. You killed Nolan. So what was the next step? Did you guys ever engage with police or?
Yeah. So the first time I talked to the police was July 7th.
I'm telling you, that's what they do on Survivor. I'm telling you. I know that some of the boats have bathrooms, but I'm telling you, they're not just going to let anybody and everybody come onto their boats just using the bathroom. And every boat don't have a toilet to it. Y'all believe what you want to, but I'm telling you, that's what that damn water's for. That's why it looked like it do.
To the lead investigator, and I told him my whole story, top to bottom, dotted every I, crossed every T. I told them everything I knew, every little detail. I mean, everything I could, you know, tell them to try to figure something out, you know.
Well, you don't want to talk to the cops or
no, of course not. You know, every person that was included, especially, you know, the guys that you see on social media, everybody cooperated with the police fully. You know, Nolan was with us on the way out, and he rode out on the boats with us. So I mean, we were the first people to get questioned. I mean, we cooperated with the police the first time they called us, and you know.
Hold on. So they did talk to the police because that's not what's being told. Hold on.
Ever engaged with police or?
Yeah. So the first time I talked to the police was July 7th.
July 7th. The 4th was a Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So Tuesday, they was talking to the police. Did Ben tell y'all that? All y'all that are saying that all this is not true and everything is a lie. Did Ben tell y'all this? I bet they didn't. So they have talked to the damn police.
Talked to the lead investigator, and I told them my whole story, top to bottom, dotted every I, crossed every T. I told them everything I knew, every little detail. I mean, everything I could, you know, tell them to try to figure something out, you know.
Well, you don't want to talk to the cops or?
No, of course not. You know, every person that was included, especially, you know.
So in other words, Ben's out there lying again. Again, why would he lie? This is verifiable. Why would he lie? Everything, most of the stuff that he's saying is shit that can be verified. Phone calls, who he talked to. All he got to do is provide the phone number he called from. I'm sure, I could be wrong, but I'm assuming that the call to, who did he say, the boat coast or something, Coast Guard maybe, I'm sure their calls are recorded. So these are things that can be proven. Ben ain't gonna tell y'all none of that. Keep your racism going though. Keep blaming white people and be all riled up. That's exactly where they want y'all. Michael, thank you. Or Michelle, I'm sorry. Michelle, thank you for the GOAT trophy. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Normal people, hit the like button. Haters, hit the dislike button. It all counts.
The guys that you see on social media, everybody cooperated with the police fully. You know, Nolan's with us.
Everybody cooperated with the police fully.
On the way out, and he rode out on the boats with us. So, I mean, we were the first people to get questioned. I mean, we cooperated with the police the first time they called us, and, you know, we talked to them, you know, as soon as they needed, and we were fully cooperative.
And we see Benjamin Crump come into town, made it about race.
Right.
What's your feeling about that? Do you think?
All right, Robert. What's he lying about? This white man might know what this white man is lying about. Let me know. What's he lying about? Let me know.
Think that any of this has anything to do with race, or because I mean, obviously something happened to Nolan. It appears that you guys may not have been involved at all. Well, I say may not. It's no evidence that you were involved at all. You guys had left.
Right.
But do you think that there's a racial component to any of this?
Of course not. I mean, I think if Nolan ever felt the most little bit uncomfortable around us, which we never gave him a reason to, but if he did, he wouldn't hang out around us. But if you go look on, you know, like my friends have had Nolan posted all over our social medias, you know, since freshman year in high school. Like, if Nolan ever felt uncomfortable with us, why would he be hanging out with us all the time? I mean, every day we're back from college, we hang out and we're around each other all the time. So absolutely.
They all go to different colleges. I don't know. Do y'all know?
Not. I would never look at Nolan any other way than I would any of my other friends. I mean, he was like a brother to me.
You guys had been interviewed by law enforcement. All of you guys have given statements. But then I think that there's a part associated with this that's being rumored out in the public, and that is the situation with the cell phone, potential deletion of messages. When did that occur, and what happened there?
Oh, all right. Well, part 4 to come, and we shall cover it. Now YouTube needs a twerk button. Goodbye, sir. Yes. So since you mentioned it, let me see if I can find that real quick for ya. 1 second. Here we go. Nolan Wells's mama. Oh. Well, Nolan Wells's mother just filed a legal petition to open his estate, and it could be the first step toward a wrongful death lawsuit. The move gives her the legal standing to potentially sue over her son's death. Court documents show she's seeking to be named administrator of his estate, a necessary step before any civil action can proceed. If granted, she'll have the authority to investigate circumstances surrounding his passing and pursue accountability through the courts. The petition was filed recently, signaling the family may be preparing for a legal battle. So Nolan Wells' mom makes a legal move, allowing her to file a potential lawsuit. All right, so this is basically saying the same thing. Let me see. Here we go. Nolan Wells' mother lays groundwork for potential lawsuit and son's death. He was laid to rest on Monday, July the 20th. That same day, his mother, Christine Wansley, reportedly filed a court petition to open an estate. Well, this is interesting, wouldn't you think? This is an interesting tidbit of news, don't you think? The same day after the rally, she went on down to the courthouse to make sure that she filed the paperwork. Papa Naya, thank you, hon. My people love to be finessed. Not y'all, child. You know we know. You know we know. Thank you so much, boo. That's what I was thinking. Like, who the hell is she suing? This is what I'm saying. She did this. Now, this sounds crazy. The same day as the funeral. The same day as the funeral, she went to the courthouse. Ben didn't tell y'all that, now did he? Panther said Dennis Sperling said they were going for wrongful death because you don't get paid for red rum. They're already $1 million in. They are already $1 million in. Sassy Straights, the black ones. If I could use this thing, you know I would play the hip hip hooray because I'm right again. They only give a damn about you when you are deceased or you are a criminal. Anyway, interesting. Somebody in the comments said lawsuit against who? They all gonna pay justice for the Wells family, as she should. You go get them, Christine. We are behind you always. Yeah. Good luck to those people, chat. Good luck to those people. Anyway, all right. So there was that. This is Jack. I'm not here. Jackson County DA. DA Angel Myers McGrath releases a statement on Nolan Wells's case. All right, so the DA has something to say. C. Harris, thank you for the Uncle Alert. I appreciate you. Shout out to y'all that are still hanging in there. We almost 2 hours exactly in here. Let's hear what they got to say. This is the DA, or one of the DAs anyway.
As District Attorney for the 19th Circuit Court District of Mississippi, I want to talk directly to the people of Jackson County. Our community is grieving the tremendous loss of Nolan Wells, who is loved and treasured by everyone. Nolan's family deserves answers, and our community deserves answers. Every death in the county, except those of natural causes and non-criminal car wrecks, are presented to your grand jury. Many people don't know that. We have handled death investigations in this manner my entire career. Nolan's case is being handled the same way, with the same care and the same commitment to the truth that we handle all death investigations. I understand the public's urgency to know what happened to Nolan, but we are not taking time for time's sake. We are taking the time required to complete the work this investigation demands. Since Nolan was reported missing, local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies have worked around the clock investigating what happened to him.
John, why is she coming out here singing this? What's she doing? What, girl, what?
Every piece of evidence must...
I don't know. I've never seen this happen before. This is crazy.
...be examined. Every credible lead must be followed to its conclusion. Every witness interview must be analyzed in context of all other evidence. The pressure for answers does not change what the work requires. Our responsibility to Nolan and our community is to complete this investigation thoroughly, carefully, without compromise, supported by the evidence and worthy of the confidence of the people we serve. I also understand that many people have questions about why more information has not been released publicly. In Mississippi, the rules of professional conduct restrict the information a prosecutor can release during an investigation.
Ooh, the rules. Somebody around here allegedly following the rules.
Our restraint in communicating facts and evidence is not an effort to keep the truth from the public. It is an effort to protect the integrity of this investigation and the grand jury proceeding. As your district attorney, I have an ethical obligation to avoid public statements that could influence witnesses, prejudice a proceeding, or compromise the fairness of the legal process. My obligation extends to and requires me to use reasonable care to ensure investigating agencies avoid making those statements and releasing information as well. These rules exist to protect the search for the truth, not to prevent it. As divided as the discussion surrounding Nolan's death has become, I know we all want the same thing, to understand what happened to Nolan. With that being our shared goal, we must also share in the goal of protecting the integrity of how the truth is discovered. If we sacrifice the integrity of the process in effort to satisfy today's questions, we risk undermining the confidence in tomorrow's answers. When the public asks, what about this, or have they looked at that, or did they think about this? The answer is yes. Those are the same questions investigators ask. The difference is that we can't publicly discuss the evidence, the interviews, or what those efforts have uncovered while the investigation is underway. Again, our restraint in sharing details of the investigation is not a refusal to share the truth. It is our commitment to protect the process that allows the truth to be known with confidence. There's a lot of information out there, and there is a heck of a lot of misinformation out there. I simply want the community I serve to know that this investigation is being handled with the care, professionalism, and commitment to the truth that every family in Jackson County deserves. As we continue this important work, Nolan's family, his friends, and all who loved him remain in our prayers.
Well, there you go. That's the DA of Jackson County. It's a little weird to me, but hey, whatever, to each his own. I mean, not the part about, calm the hell down. I feel like that's mainly what she was saying, because everybody is jumping to conclusions with the help of Ben and Al and all the rest of them. Y'all not gonna get me to ever change my mind about those niggas. They was the same before this case. They're gonna be the same after this case. Ain't nothing new under the sun with them. It's the same shit, wash, rinse, repeat. They're gonna go to any black man issue that they can find where a white person was allegedly involved. But he definitely not gonna give you any of the facts that anybody has said around here. stuff that's verifiable. So many things that we just said that are so verifiable. Ben ain't gonna go out to Horn Island. Ben ain't gonna show you the fact that no one could dock, so everybody has to get into the water. Ben is not gonna say, well, I guess it makes sense that you don't take your phone when you got to swim into the land. Of course, he's not gonna say that. You're not gonna acknowledge the fact that every video that you've seen is from somebody from a boat. Y'all not gonna acknowledge that either. So, that's what we do around here, though. So if that's not what you do, that's probably not the place for you, and we don't need you anyway. Your dissension, you can take that over to Ben Crump, DL Hughley, Ricky Smiley, and all those motherfuckers that keep y'all down while they up here getting richer and richer, okay? Keeping y'all right where you are, worrying about shit that you cannot control, ain't nothing you can do about. Only thing you can do anything about is your GD cells. But y'all keep rocking with them. Somebody lost their child on the day of their funeral. They go straight down to the courthouse, and that doesn't raise an eyebrow at minimum. I don't have any problem with the parents, because unfortunately we barely hear from them because Ben Crump always has to open his milk dud head ass mouth. That's why I don't care what that nigga has to say. If we not hearing from them, I don't care what he has to say, because the only information he has, he's getting from them. He don't know shit. He ain't come out here and let you know that those boys were interviewed already by the police. They ain't tell you none of that. Now, what you think happened when they got behind closed doors, that's a different story. But he ain't even tell you that. I'm sure he knows. Keep the fans of racism flaming so that y'all can be scared, because y'all are scared of white people. That's what Ricky said. And you think you're second-class citizens to white people. That's what that girl said in that video. And y'all can have that. Y'all are concerned with white people. I'm not concerned with white people. I don't go to bed thinking about them. I don't wake up thinking about them. Throughout my day, as I work today with white people, wasn't thinking about none of them. No, one bit. I was thinking about how soon I can get the fuck out of here and go home. That's what I be thinking about. And when I'm going to start looking for a new job, put some more effort into it. That's what be on my mind. White people be on y'all's mind. That's where y'all live. Y'all got that. That's where they want you to live. So that when it's time for those daggone midterms to come up, y'all now have whatever's going on in Wisconsin. They're going to add that to the list, I'm sure. They're already out there protesting. I'm not going into it tonight, y'all. I do not have the energy. I just don't. So it looks like it's just a little over 2 hours. And honestly, that's plenty. I mean, the GoFundMe is at $749. It's 90% to goal. I'm sorry, $759. It's 90% to goal of $850,000. And now they're going to go ahead and sue. So somebody is racking up around here. I mean, somebody is. That's where Ben Crump will get paid, y'all. Where else do you think Ben Crump is going to get paid? He's going to get paid from a lawsuit if one is filed. So that makes sense. Jamal Bryant's getting in on it. The NAACP is getting in on it. Al Sharpton got in on it. And y'all just refuse to see it. While you out here talking about what I refuse to see, y'all won't even consider what you refuse to see. You refuse to see that these grifters are grifting and they taking y'all right along with them. And, enjoy yourself, child. Enjoy yourself. Because nothing will come of this except for they'll get paid, he'll move on, wash, rinse, repeat. But if you're talking about this case, they are underage. They were all drinking. The boy just admitted it. They weren't supposed to be drinking. You got to be 21. There's a bunch of people over there, bunch of underages drinking, taking pictures. They didn't care. They probably do it all the time. I'm telling you, they probably do it all the time. That child, not him, I think it was somebody else, has a whole estate. They like dynasty rich. They like Dallas rich. No wonder they didn't go over to Nolan's house. Why would they go there? They over here at an estate with a ramp out back with a couple of boats back there. I'm just saying. I'd be there too. Shit. They probably have food stock, beer stock, everything stock, and had a good time every time they were there. Every single time. 3.52%. Everyone gonna get their cut. Everybody gonna get their cut. Exactly. Using another deceased black man. Y'all refuse to see it. But I'm telling you, there will be no shortage of black women on panels talking about y'all ain't shit. Say I'm lying. Then we'll turn around and then come say, justice for Nolan, justice for Nolan. Or Cyrus or Carmelo, and then go to the computer and say, you niggas ain't shit. Say I'm lying. Say I'm lying. That's exactly what it is. It's bullshit. There's a lot of people who are fucking hypocrites. It's not specifically about this case, but it falls right in line with it. But whatever. Anyway, shout out to all of y'all, though. I appreciate y'all hanging in there. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are normal. We're on the way to 50K. Appreciate everybody that donated today. Shout out to the stream sponsor, Reaper, with 20 memberships. If you got a membership, you don't know where it came from. Trust me, it came from Death the Reaper. I'm going to bed. Shout out to Percy with the stay hydrated. Yes, everybody. Now, look, what did we learn today? A little bit about boats and they could sink. Okay. And then I learned that if you drink too much beer and it's hot, you can get a beer cramp. Never knew that. I don't drink beer, but now I know. Can't say I ain't learned nothing today. Thank y'all very much. I appreciate y'all. I will see you tomorrow. We on tomorrow, y'all, and I'm working from home. We probably do it early morning and start early in the mid-afternoon. So be there or be square. I appreciate y'all. I see you all in the next.
And now another anti-ruckus rant brought to you by the community. Viewer and audio discretion is highly advised.
The community wants to take the word and hold up hoes, whores, OF people, people who put out STD-named lip gloss, people who have slept with anybody and everybody at any time, people who talk about the AB clinic like they go into McDonald's, people who just say whatever comes to their mind, people who make songs about scamming, people who like people to pee on them, people who like to hang out with people that could be ABCD, but because they have enough money, it's okay. And then say that that's woman empowerment. So to be a whore is woman empowerment, and that's who runs the community. Y'all stand up for whores, and everybody's just supposed to go along with it. People like Tigger go along with it. Eddie Winslow, whatever his name is, allegedly goes along with it. And people are talking about white people are the problem. Colors, white people are not the problem. I don't care, say what you want, white people is not the problem with the community. It's the fact that black people listen to famous people with yellow hair, pink hair, blue hair, nose rings, eye rings, tongue rings, lip rings, cheek rings, throat rings, boob rings. That's the problem. Liberals, progressives, and Democrats, that's the problem. Unfortunately, it always comes back to political, because none of these people have subscribed would be a conservative person, even though black people are supposed to be conservative. And I still would like someone to answer the question. I know it's not a video that people are liking. That's okay. It's still there to watch. Which ancestor would come back today and say, thank you all for continuing my legacy? Which one? Name them. Which one? Name them. Will come back today and say, you guys are doing a great job. Thank you for continuing all my hard work. You're doing spades, child. Y'all are doing spades. So glad that I risked my life so that you all could become fucking whores. Whores don't run my fucking life. They do not run me or my community. And I don't hang out with motherfuckers that don't make any sense. Y'all can have that shit. Y'all can listen to caricature all the fuck you want to. Fuck that nigga. You can listen to that funky tether over there that's telling you to your face that Democrats ain't done shit for you, and then turn around and say, keep voting for them. And then you want to turn around and act like white people are your problem when you got all these niggas in your face lying to you, and you still believe them. And then you'll make some fucked up excuse because you fucked up and say, but black people do it too. But black people do it too. And yet black bitches always looking at white people for what the fuck it is that they do, and then turn around talking about racism. Make it make sense. I still ain't seen to where, child, what is her name? blonde hair. Child, the ESPN ex-person, child. You know what I'm talking about.
In the state of Pennsylvania, politics can be very messy. Pun intended. Today we embark on a new journey, not Jersey. That helps the state clean up its act. No more candidates that won't speak for people, talk shit, rant, and liked by the community. We need a beacon of hope to transform us into a new beginning, fixing corruption and whoredom that bleeds through our cities. A candidate that is
a funky ass.
A candidate that is reliable, trustworthy, loves the kids, and ain't a hoe. A candidate that really wants to fix this shit. That candidate is Messy Miss Shawn for Pennsylvania State Senator 2030.